So, is everybody nervous?
I mean, just the biggest day of the year. A little nervous, yeah.
Today's March Madness lunch specials at Clarke include taco pizza, grilled cheese and tomato soup, and chicken Alfredo. Love me some chicken Alfredo. Yeah. Woo!
They will face the
Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Telegraph Herald. More in the score. I'm your host Steve Ortman, fresh off a delicious lunch by the way here at Clarke, alongside second year Clarke women's basketball coach Courtney Boyd. Courtney, thanks for coming on the show. We want to talk a little bit about this tremendous run you guys made at the NAIA Division I National Tournament in Billings, Montana last week. It was kind of a grueling situation, but you guys pulled out, made it to the Elite Eight of that tournament. Can you talk about, at the beginning of the season, what did you see out of this team? Was this a team that you thought could do some special things this season?
With us being so young, you just never know as a coach what you're going to get yourself into. There's going to be a lot of transitioning from high school to freshman year of college. There were a couple of, we had a great freshman year the year before, and so them being sophomores this year, we had very limited upperclassmen that had played a lot of minutes, so we knew that there were going to be our ups and downs. But at the beginning of the season, we kind of looked at how tough the players were just kind of as people and what they were looking to do, and we knew that they came from winning programs, whether it was a year ago or 2 years ago, or they had won since they were at Clarke. So we knew that pushing them outside their comfort zone was going to be something that was really important for them, and we were able to do that throughout the season, and more late in the season they started to buy into what we were asking them to do.
Yeah, and you guys went on to set a program record, 23 wins this season for the Pride. You make it to the national tournament. You're a number 8 seed. You're coming up against the top seed, Columbia. Talk about that game. You're down 16 at halftime. You guys rallied to win it by 3.
Oh, boy. I don't even know where to start. We went in, and at first when we got into the game, you could just tell that the nerves were all over the place. We probably filled the gym with anxiousness, anywhere from myself to the coaching staff in general to, all the way down to the end of the bench and then even into our honorary coaches. It was just a surreal feeling at that point, especially knowing that only one person on our entire roster, Natasha Adamas, had been in that situation, and that was at the Division II level. So here we are. It's all first time for us. We get started. We didn't shoot the ball too great, so we go in at halftime, and it's just one of those, you get the feeling that your team knows that they can get something done. They've been in this situation before. They understand what it takes to fight back from a deficit, and they looked at each other and they said, we have to stop worrying about the referees. We have to make some shots, and we really have to get it going.
You didn't have a ton of time to celebrate. It's a format where you're playing a game a day. You go into the next round, you pick up a win over Shawnee State, then you go in to the Elite Eight round, and you're playing a team that's won multiple championships in Oklahoma City. Talk about this run and some of the standout players you guys had that played really well.
The run within itself was just something that I don't think that this group is ever going to forget. I mean, myself included, and it's just something that you don't really know what's going on until it's over. And I think that looking back now, as the pictures and the videos and the congratulations continue to come through, I think that's something that it just fills you with excitement for the future. But looking at what we did. I mean, we were even down in the Shawnee State game, came back in the locker room, talked about the things that we did the night before. It's now 9:30 at night, and so we're all tired and emotions are getting the best of us, and we figure out a way to win that game, again, with a couple of adjustments, and with us being such a young team and buying into that coaching, that was something that took us really far. And then the Oklahoma City team, holy smokes, were they tough. It was just, they'd been in that situation before, many times before us. They've won multiple titles. Their coach has a ton of experience, and something that he said came over to us and said, I can't believe you guys were an 8 seed. You're playing like you're a 4 or 5 seed and you've been here before. So I didn't tell the team that, but I think that that's something that they really put Clarke on the map, and with McKenna Hawsey the first game, Tina Ubel playing consistently, Morgan Pitts, of course, and then Natasha Adamas just playing like a senior that second game, Shawnee State, when our post players were struggling a little bit. She really pushed us through, and she played like she didn't want it to end. So it was great to see her have a game like that in the tournament, especially on a big stage like that.
All right, well, obviously a fantastic year for you guys. Let's catch up with one of the players, shall we? All right, Western Dubuque fans, you might recognize this face, sophomore guard Morgan Pitts. Morgan, thanks for coming on the show. Terrific season for the Pride, obviously. You guys made that great run at the national tournament. Can you talk about, what that meant to the players for you guys, to make it to that level and kind of prove yourselves?
Yeah, it meant a lot. We worked really hard all season, and we fought through tough games and tough losses, and we always came back. And once we got down there, we wanted to prove to everyone that we were supposed to be down there. And once we got past the second game, we just wanted to keep winning and keep proving ourselves.
Now, how did you guys kind of bond together as a team? As the season went on, you're setting program record for most wins, then you're making this run, doing upsets in the national tournament. How did the team kind of bond together during that run?
Well, there's those always ups and downs through those tough games and tough losses, but we always stayed together as a team, and we always had each other back in practices when they were tough, in games when people got hurt, and we were just a team. We always came together, and we always helped each other up, and that's what got us through.
Sure. Now, you guys get those 2 upsets there in Montana, and you push Oklahoma City right to the Final Horn. What will this run do for you guys kind of as you players coming back for a motivating factor heading into next year?
I think it shows our team that we are good enough to compete with the best, and that in our off season and postseason that we need to work hard each and every day, and over the summer get better and have a ball in our hand. And for this next season, it's going to be worth it.
All right, so now in the spirit of March Madness, we figured we'd play a little knockout here with some Clarke women's basketball players and coaches. We got joining us now Emma Lidico, a guard from Iowa Grant, as well as assistant coach Dale Linderwell is going to join the party here. A little knockout between these Pride players and coaches, so have at it, guys.
Ready to go?
Come on, coach. Oh!
Oh gosh.
One down. Morgan gets her coach.
Come on, coach. Gotta represent.
Assistant coach Linderwell and Morgan Pitts. Assistant coach. Dale Linderwell with the win. Schooling the young ones here yet. Well, thanks again, Clarke women's basketball coaches, players, for coming on the show. Congratulations on a fantastic season. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Telegraph Herald. More in the Score. I'm your host, Steve Ortman, for the Clarke women's basketball team. We'll see you next week.